you want to build muscle, I'm gonna break it down for you. Focus on these 5 things, and these will definitely help you build a better physique, and it'll help you build muscle. So the first thing is, if you want to build muscle, you need to eat. Obviously, you need to eat. Probably the most important thing when it comes to building muscle is your nutrition. If you need to eat, what kind of foods you need to eat? So you need to eat more whole foods in your diet. So things like eggs, lean meats, whole grains like oats, fruits, vegetables, things like that. You want to include more nutrient dense foods into your meals instead of empty calories. So things like chips and like candy, sodas. Diet sodas are okay because diet sodas are no sugar, no carbs, but things like that don't have any solid nutritional value. So just read the labels, make sure you're eating more nutrient dense foods, and then obviously you want to eat foods that have a lot of protein. Now, how much protein should you be eating? A higher protein diet has been associated with increased kidney issues and like liver issues. I think that association is because higher protein diets often come with an increase in eating meats. When you're eating more meat, you're going to in turn have more fat, so that might raise your cholesterol, but you can avoid that by going for lean meats. So like I eat, if I can find like a 93.7 beef or a like 95.5 or like a 97.3 like ground turkey. Ground turkey is really good. Get meats like that, and having a high protein diet is not going to harm you in any way. How much protein you should eat in a day? You want to eat 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you need to eat 100 grams of protein. I weigh 185 pounds, so I try to eat 185 to 200 grams of protein every day. And going over that's okay. I try to overshoot just because I think if I overshoot it, that's better than not getting enough. And also, don't shy away from carbs. I think carbs have been getting a bad rep because of like all these there's a bunch of different diets that come out, and no diet I think is good or bad. Best diet is a diet that you can stick to. Carbs aren't bad. We need carbs. Carbs are stored as glycogen, and glycogen is what your body looks to first for energy. And that's important because if the body is using glycogen as its main like fuel, that spares protein. So protein doesn't have to get used towards energy, it can be used towards repairing and building muscle. And then obviously, of course, you need to be hydrating 24/7. Almost guarantee you watching this right now probably don't drink enough water. Here, drink some water with me. Number 2 is try to train each muscle group or each muscle twice a week. And there's many different ways that you can go about doing this. I would definitely recommend having a training split. So for example, what I mean by training split is having a plan each day of the week, and each day you have planned out what muscle groups that you want to target that day. So for me, I do a push-pull-leg split, and I do that twice in the week. So I work out 6 days a week. Push is chest, triceps, and shoulders. Pull is your back and your biceps, and then legs. So right now what I'm doing, I'll do push-pull legs, and then I have a rest day in the middle of the week, and then I'll do push-pull legs again. So I'm training every day of the week except for Thursdays. That's my rest day. When you're in the gym, you're not actually building muscle. You're ripping apart, and you're causing little micro tears in your muscles that later, while you're recovering, your body repairs and builds up and makes stronger and bigger. But when you train each muscle twice a week, you break it down 2 times every week, your muscles will repair themselves 4 times in a month. In comparison, if you train them twice a week for a whole month, then your muscles, they're going to repair themselves 8 times in 1 month. So you're doubling the amount of damage that you're doing to your muscles, but you're also doubling the amount of repair and buildup in your muscles. 2 times a week is the perfect amount. If you're training 3 times a week, I don't think there's much benefit from that. You might start damaging your muscles more than you're actually building them back up. And I see a lot of guys go to the gym and they do like 100 different exercises, 30 sets each exercise, and it's like the optimal or like the range to build muscle is 10 to 20 hard working sets a week. So 10 is like the lower end, 20 is the upper end. If you do less than 10 it's not ideal for building muscle, and then more than 20 you're just doing too much. Once you get past 20, it's just kind of junk volume. You're not really going to be benefiting much from doing too much. So I like to break it up. I'll do 7 to 8 hard sets for one muscle group or one muscle. So like chest, since I do 2 push days, which means I'm working out my chest twice in 1 week, I will do 7 to 8 hard sets on first day, the first push day, and then I'll do that again I'll vary the exercises. I won't do the same exercises on both days, but they'll vary a little bit. But on both days, I'm doing 7 to 8 hard, like, working sets on my chest. So that puts me in that, like, I'm usually around 15 to 16 hard working sets. Some days I'll go over because if I do like some kind of drop set or something like that, which is you train your muscle till failure till you can't do another rep, and then you decrease the weight by like 30%, and then you keep going again till you go to failure again. It's a technique to push your body further past failure, which is going to help you grow. Number 3, while you're in the gym training each muscle group twice a week, you need to be incorporating progressive overload. And I briefly talked about progressive overload in my other video, on my chest video, which if you haven't seen, you should go check out that. But what progressive overload is increasing the load and increasing the volume over a certain period of time. You definitely want to train intense, but you don't want to overdo it. You want to train intense. Intensity is like one of the most important things when it comes to building muscle. You don't need to train to failure every single set that you do, but you do want to go to failure every so often so that you know what that feels like, so you can get really close to failure without actually annihilating your muscle 24/7. You don't need to do that. I'll put something up on the screen right now. This is kind of like a breakdown of progressive overload, like as an example. So the first week you could do like 3 sets of 5 at 75% of your 1 rep max, and then the next week you do the same weight, but you do 4 sets of 5. Next week you do 5 sets of 5 at that same weight. Then after a couple weeks, and then all of a sudden you go back to 3 sets of 5, but then you do 80% of your max. So you definitely want to incorporate that, because if you're not tracking, you're not gonna like grow. You're gonna have a plateau. Once you've trained, say you're doing like a back squat. I don't know, if you do 200 pounds for 5 reps and you do that for like a year straight, eventually your body's just gonna get used to that. If you want to grow your legs in size, you need to add more weight on the bar because you can handle more load. You want to keep getting stronger and you want to keep getting bigger, and those both work hand in hand. I talked about that in my other video as well. When your muscles are getting stronger, in turn they're getting bigger. We just talked about all that time you need to spend in the gym and how to train hard and train each muscle twice a week, but that's going to take a toll on your body. So number 4, you need proper rest and recovery. You should be getting at least 8 hours of sleep every night. When you're asleep, that is actually the time that you're building muscle. That's when your muscles are repairing themselves. If any muscle group is sore, you want to work on your soreness. On my rest days, I still actually go to the gym, but I'm not lifting weights. I'm doing He's just snoring. Thinks he's the star of the show right now. I'll still go to the gym. I'll do some band work on my mobility. I'll do like light cardio. Just kind of work out any kinks, make sure my mobility's good in all my joints, because doing a lot of heavy barbell movements and stuff like that, it'll take a toll on your joints over time, and I'm in this for longevity, so I want to make sure that I can still do this for as long as my body can. On your rest days, still stay consistent with your diet. Don't go out like eating and drinking and partying and stuff. Like, if you're committed to building muscle and having a good physique and being disciplined, your rest days are just as important as your training days. The last one is consistency. You can't expect to show up to the gym, you can't work out for a week and then expect results. This is why I think fitness and working out and lifting weights, it's good for you physically, obviously, but it's so good for you mentally, because it's one of the few things that we have left in the world that doesn't provide instant gratification. You don't work out one time and then you just have huge arms or huge triceps or huge chest. You have to put in the work. I think the gym is a really good way to practice that, to practice embracing the grind. Once you become disciplined in the gym, it starts to correlate to everything else in your life, and it's just really good, man. Really enjoy the process. It makes it so much easier when you can just fall in love with the grind and have fun with it. If you're on this fitness journey, then don't be afraid to take your progress pictures, record your PRs, track your weight, set goals for yourself when it comes to fitness as well, because that your fitness and your own health is the most important thing in the world. Your health should be your number 1 priority. Regardless of the digital world that we live in, everything that you see on social media and on the internet, on TV, and on these shows and stuff, it's all highlights of people's lives. Don't get discouraged when you work out for a week and you don't look like these fitness influencers. They've been doing it for like years, and they post their pictures of themselves or videos of them working out. Best lighting, they have filters on and these crazy like cameras and stuff that make them look even better. It's not about them. It's not about them and your fitness journey. You can learn from them. You can learn some things from other people, but at the end of the day, it's you versus you. When you go to the gym is an area for self-improvement and self-development. That's what everybody else is there for, and so don't compare yourself to anybody else except yourself from yesterday, because you should always be trying to get better. That's all my 5 tips. If you follow all these tips for more than a year, and you're strict with all these tips and you're not building muscle, I don't know what to tell you at that point. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far in the video, I appreciate you so much. Be sure to go check out my other videos. Every Monday, I'm gonna upload like a Monday motivation video. I already dropped mine for this week. And then on top of that, I'll also be trying to put out a video like this, some kind of fitness content on top of the Monday motivation. So like, subscribe, share. That always helps so much. I appreciate you guys, and I hope that you have an amazing day.